A lot of people message me telling me their Cane Corso isn't growing and they're wondering why. So I figured it'd be a great time to just answer that question and give you the 5 main reasons why your Cane Corso isn't growing. And I bet you number 5 is probably what's really going on with most of your dogs. If you guys like these videos and find them helpful, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 500,000 subscribers here. We're actually trying to get to 1 million. Took the boy swimming today. So Bruce is like just level 10 happy. He's like, thanks for taking me swimming, Dad. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, I know you like to swim. Weekly bath time really helps our own allergies, and Bruce is basically allergic to the environment. So the dogs are laying outside all day long. Guess what? They bring in all those danders, all those pollens from outside, and he gets allergic to himself, essentially. So number 1 main reason why your Cane Corso isn't growing as big as you want them to is because of your dog's genetics. You can't beat genetics. Your dog's genetics are their genetics. There's nothing you can do about it. I'd like to be 6 foot tall. I'm only 5'9". There's nothing I could do to be 6 foot tall, right? And it's the same for your dogs. If you want a large dog, get a dog from large parents. If you have parents that are 100 pounds each, there's a smaller Corso. The mother's 100 pounds, the father's 100 pounds. Your dog's probably gonna be about 100 pounds. That is the number 1 reason why your Cane Corso isn't growing to the size you want them to. Number 2, babe, is highly controversial. You know, I've done multiple videos on this. Is your dog spayed or neutered? If your dog's spayed or neutered, especially before they are fully mature, you stunted their growth, meaning they're probably not gonna really grow much more in height, length. Muscle mass isn't gonna be as much as it could be because you cut off those hormones. And hormones are key to growth. Without hormones, your dog's not gonna grow properly. Their bones aren't gonna be as strong. They're not gonna be as muscular. And I have multiple videos, 3 videos that are all science-based, fact-based on the dangers of spay and neuter. And it's one of those things where vets don't like to tell you these things. So I told you these things, and a lot of people are with me and a lot of people were against me in this video. Hormones are key to your dog growing. You destroy their hormones by spaying or neutering them. Not only is it going to cause a bunch of joint integrity issues, it's going to stunt their growth. They're not going to put on the muscle mass that they could because you need testosterone, you need all the other hormones that are removed when you spay or neuter your dogs. Definitely check out those videos that I put up that are all science-based, evidence-based, because it's a lot of information, more than just growth, on the cancers that can happen at a higher rate when you spay or neuter your dog. The 3rd reason your Cane Corso might not be growing is their diet. Diet is key to longevity. Diet is key to development. Diet is key to so many things in not only our dog's body, but ours as well, right? So a species appropriate raw diet is what I always recommend because they're getting whole foods. They're getting the foods that they need and they can utilize as a canine. Dogs don't need rice. Wild dogs don't eat rice in the wild. Dogs can survive great off raw meat, so protein and fat. They don't really need carbs. Sure, they can take in carbs, but they don't really need them. If you look at kibble, usually a lot of kibble is filled with filler, either sweet potato, a rice blend. Your dog doesn't need that, so they're not developing as good as they can. A lot of the time it's filler, so they don't even digest all of it. They just expel it out. So they're not getting all the nutrients that they could if you were feeding them a raw diet where you're feeding them just raw meat. The 4th reason why your Cane Corso might not be growing is due to over-exercising them as a puppy. Over-exercising a puppy can damage growth plates, damage their bones, which also could stunt their growth. So with a puppy, you don't really want to give a Cane Corso or any dog in general full exercise. By full exercise, I mean like running, sprinting, super long walks, jogs, until their growth plates are closed. Every breed's different. Giant breeds take longer for those growth plates to close. So for a Cane Corso, for example, it's around 18 months, and that's around. Some dogs are a little bit sooner. Some dogs are much later. So it's really a judgment call on you. A lot of the times you guys will see me use a weight vest with these guys when I take them on a walk. I wouldn't recommend that until at least minimum 18 months. But then you still have to assess, is your dog still growing or not? And the 5th reason why your Cane Corso may not be growing is actually your Cane Corso is still growing. And a lot of the times you get puppies, a Cane Corso puppy, they grow so insanely fast when you first get them, right? Bruce, Justice were putting on about 5 pounds a week for months. Then all of a sudden it seems like they just stop growing, but they're not really done growing. They're still growing. It's just at a slower rate now. Kara and myself were talking today at how long it truly takes for a Cane Corso to grow. Bruce's head grew up until 5.5, 6 years old. His body changed and developed until he was over 3 years old, 3.5. Justice is still growing right now. He's 2.5, but the growth is much slower than it is when they're a puppy. Bruce and Justice's weight stalled out for a very long time, for months on end. Even though they were still growing, you could see it in their limbs, their paws, their head. And then all of a sudden, they started to put on weight again. A lot of times your dog still is growing, you're just not recognizing it because you see your dog every day. So you're not seeing those slight changes, where if somebody hasn't seen your dog in a few months and then they see them and they may look the same size to you, they may be like, oh, your dog's a lot bigger now. So just keep that in mind. Don't rush growth. That's what's also great about raw, is if you feed a dog a raw diet, they don't grow super duper fast. They grow at the rate they should grow at, where kibble sometimes makes them grow too quick and they're putting on weight too fast for their joints to handle because those growth plates aren't closed. And a raw diet, they're still going to grow to their full potential, just at a slower, more even pace. And I have an online raw diet course that'll teach you guys how to feed raw from a puppy to an adult, doesn't matter what age. Use code JASON, save 10% off that. And until next time, oh, and if you guys want some Corso merch, check out the description box below. We have some awesome Corso merch. We have this shirt, we have it in black as well, and hats. So until next time, Bruce, Wayne, Joey, Justin, and myself, see you later. Peace.